And let me do that. We are going to the custom streaming service.
Yeah, I had to figure out my way around it yesterday. It was
There
pretty
we are.
easy though. I just
Oh,
clicked
good.
custom streaming service and it worked out. So thank you for
Yeah,
that. Craig's
yeah.
always
It
setting us up, even if he's not here. He's still helping us out. So
absolutely, positively. I mean, just so much great things that go on here, and we want to make sure that everything is perfect. How's that?
that's right.
All right. So we got that. We got that. And I got that settled. Oh, wait a minute. Got one more to deal with. We got that. There we are. So, welcome, 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 everybody. And thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule. It is time for Imaginators. And we are so glad to have you with us on this Sunday, April 14th. Um, Happy new day, great new day. And a couple of quick things before we get things rolling, because we got lots to share today. First of all, thank you guys again for helping to promote the channel. Why do I say that? We are now at 7,109 subscribers. On our way to 7,200, on our way to 8,000, on our way to 10,000, on our way to 100,000 with your help. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you. Multiply that a few times over, and you know how much we appreciate that. Um, and so I saw what Robert posted today, and I thought for a day like today, with the group of people that we have to share this meme. And Robert, so true, and especially since you've been on an imagination tear lately, it makes sense though, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yep. So Robert posted today this quote from Norman Vincent Peale: "Imagination is the true magic carpet."
Nice. Nice.
I
Exactly.
concur.
All right. So, because we have our Imaginators and we want you to participate in today's Imaginator session, if you'd like to raise your hand, you can do so if you're watching us on Zoom. We can do it directly with Robert. Very simple to do. Put your cursor on the middle of the screen where you see all these pictures. On the bottom of the screen, you'll see a bunch of buttons, one of which is reactions. Click on that, click on raise hand, and we will call on you, and you could work with Robert that way. Or if you don't see the reactions button there, you may see a button that says more with three dots. Click on that one and then click on reactions and then click on raise hand and we will call on you. Otherwise, if you'd like, we can ask your questions on your behalf. Just post your questions in the chats, whether you're watching us on YouTube or here on Zoom. And if you're watching us on YouTube and you can't find that link to get over to Zoom, very simple to do. You just look at the top of the chat because that's where I posted it in that blue bar that says Robert Hollis and Unlimited Wisdom Zoom. Click on that. You'll be taken right in to our Zoom room. And so, with that all being said, it is now officially time for the Imaginators. I love doing that. And ladies and gentlemen, it is also time for our Imaginator in Chief. Please give it up for Mr. Robert Hollis.
Thank you, Craig. And I love all the Imaginators here. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I hope that your imagination is starting to work better and work better and work better. Uh, me, I just know the basics of this concept. Um, and I know that you guys probably already know this, but I know that people that are really, really, really um, educated will be able to help me with this philosophy or whatever it is. I just was told years ago that, and you guys have probably heard me say it a number of times, that when you become aware of something, the whole thing is, I'm going to be unique. I've always wanted this kind of car. I've always wanted this color of car. And so what you do is you imagine that you get that car. And as soon as you get that car and sort of, puff your chest up a little bit and go, look I'm sort of proud of myself. Look what I've done. then you realize that everyone's got that car. Not only that car, but that color. And I don't know what that syndrome is or whatever, but it's like, once we really get something, then it's like, oh my God, was I the last person to get this? So when I posted that thing from Vincent Peale, whenever I get like a download, I immediately, I go to quotes, and I love always putting, quotes in for imagination. And like I've shared with some of you before, when I even searched the word imaginator, there was some person that actually put together some cartoon characters that, they had superpowers called the Imaginators. And that never discourages me, ever. Because a lot of things sometimes hit the consciousness of the world, and the world's not ready. And how many times have we heard of this, including watching television, where someone comes up with a great idea called, Breaking Bad or Seinfeld or Friends, and it doesn't catch on until they're about ready to cancel it? It's like this weird, bizarre thing that if people just do not quit and stay in imagination, this is my philosophy. I don't have anything to back this. Zero to back what I'm about ready to tell you guys. It's like, for me, my imagination is that whatever power there is out there that assists me every day in my life, impacting and helping others, I just believe that they're all up there, and all of a sudden they go, man, they're just not going to give up on this frickin' idea. We might as well just open up the windows and start helping them. And that's when everybody you hear, oh my God, it's like they became successful overnight. It was like they changed overnight. And here's the saddest part about you staying in the game until that tipping point happens and you get rewarded. Because the very first thing that everyone does, again, that's a blanket statement, everyone. What most people do is when that tipping point happens and you start getting rewarded and blessed way above an average person, that we first want to go back and try to save the people that told us no, or go back and tell that group, I told you so. And that's when it really becomes weird, because they're exactly the same way they've always been. And so you guys have probably heard me tell this story over and over again, that when I went to publish my book, I had an individual tell me, hey, I don't want you to get beat up. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he says, listen, when you launch your book and publish your book and share it with the world, the people that you want to read it the most are not going to read it. They just don't care. And this is the thing that we do constantly with stealing our dream, is when all of a sudden we come up and imagine things, we still have to search the world for other imaginators, right? So I know you guys have heard this in different phrases before, but it's like the majority of the people in the world are asleep. That's where we get this word, that, we're sort of tired of this whole woke group of people, right? And it's funny because we always are looking for things that validate or justify what we're doing. So if you would do that to win with your imagination, would you do that to also stop your imagination? Okay, so we talked about little kids, right? And little kids have, imaginary friends. And all of a sudden, some of our friends start going, oh my God, Kimmery, you still don't believe in your imaginary friend, do you? So now all of a sudden we have to hide it. And I think that's what people do about their feelings, and what they also do about their spiritual beliefs. Because, Sandy can believe what she believes in, but as soon as she starts expressing that with her imagination, now you got everybody going, I don't think Sandy's got 52 cards in the deck. You know what I mean? I think she's a little off, or her elevator doesn't go all the way to the top floor. When you start hearing those things about yourself, that's when you're closer to where you need to be than you've ever been in your life. Because now to look back at the world and see that the people that had the largest imagination were screamed at, yelled at, and tried to be institutionalized. So we hear about these people that the rest of the world considered insane, mentally insane, because of their imagination. And those are the ones that we heard that were treated that way, that made it. Man, how sad could we turn this conversation into when we realize how many people had imagination and they shared it with other people and they did get locked up? Or let's go further in the past. They were killed. They were burned at the stake because their decision to have a different imagination. And we all know this without saying it, right? That there's more people killed in the world on basically forcing upon another human being that you got to believe in my imagination, not yours. See, that's called war. That's called going into a country and destroying their art and their temples and everything, because you got to imagine in the same God that I imagine in. And we say that, well, that might be under Christians, but no, there's a lot of wars in Asia because of Buddhists and Hindus. And then there's, overnight while I'm watching MMA, I don't know exactly when it happened, but I guess Iran decided to launch a bunch of missiles toward Israel. I didn't know about it because I was too busy being entertained, watching people live out their imagination. And I got up the morning, and when I heard that, I went, oh, that's sort of sad. And then I thought, wow, that's imagination too. Because there's always these group of people that don't know how to think and imagine for themselves. So they listen to other people that have imagination, and their imagination that's the world would be a better off place if there just wasn't any Jews. Wow. I'm just like in my mind going, wow, you know what I mean? But that is imagination, isn't it? And so I want to go to another lighter note now. I'm constantly looking for signs, always looking for signs. And my wife and I were watching television, and we seen this trailer. And some of you that are plugged into the Telegram group, you've seen this already. But talk about imagination when all of a sudden I hear, you'll see it, but you'll see the names that are attached to this. What I love about certain movies and ideas is, can you imagine in your mind, I love saying that all the time now, can you imagine saying, what could I do to get a large A list of actors, male and female, just to read a script and go, I'm in, I'm in, I'm in, I'm in, I'm in. And if you really paid attention, this happens quite often, where there's a script that comes out that's so compelling that all the A-listers are sort of like begging, let me in, let me have this part. And that's when you really step into imagination. So the trailer that you're about ready to watch is called If. And get this, If is an abbreviation for imaginary friend. So watch this. I didn't know when it was going to come out, but please watch this. And then I want to just talk about a couple of things, and then we'll talk about how to kick your imagination into high gear and have you live this Imaginator life. Craig, please.
Hi.
Well, looky. She is the perfect fit, I promise.
Did she even see you?
She was about to.
What are you doing? Don't do this. No.
Hi. Oh, God. This is just so exciting.
What is happening?
Well, that's a perfectly understandable question given
I'm an if. Get it? Imaginary friend. Our kids grew up, so we need new ones. You could save all of us.
All of who? And don't say ifs.
Let him say it, or I think his head may actually explode.
Ifs. Thank you.
You ready for this? There's no telling who's behind that door today.
We have to help them.
Yes, we do.
I'm not gonna ask you again. Put some pants on. You're freaking everyone out.
Starting to see why I live alone. Chief! What kind of a kid creates an invisible if? Don't look him in the eye.
Which one?
You know damn well which one.
Thanks for doing this. It really means a whole lot.
So how many of you are with me and doing your very best to live each and every moment of your life in an imaginary world instead of the real one? I think the real one, for some people's perception, is a pretty awful place to live. And so I keep trying to explain stuff to you guys, and the way that I see the world, which is pretty funny, is why do I like individual sports like MMA? Because last night, there's no way that you could have wrote a script, a movie script like I watched last night, and how 20 million people watched last night. And so let me just briefly give it to you. A kid named Max Holloway, which, by the way, everyone's got these names: the Terminator, the Assassin, Master of Death. Max Holloway, his fighter name is Max Blessed Holloway. Max Blessed Holloway comes from Hawaii. Started fighting very early. He fought 14 years ago. And today he's 23. So let that sort of sink in your head for a second. So this kid went all the way to the end, won the world championship. And then all of a sudden, there's a couple of fighters that have to reinvent themselves, like everybody has to reinvent themselves. And it's pretty interesting that a lot of imaginary things say that you need to renew your mind. You got to put off the old and put on the new. That you could actually have an imagination that you could go to a different city and no one knows you in that city, so then you can pretend to be the person you really truly want to be because no one knows you there, right? And so it's very interesting that that this guy sort of got into, he lost his belt by a guy from Australia, Volkanovski. He got an instant rematch and lost that fight as well. And all of a sudden his career just took a little downturn. You know what I mean? So because he's so popular, because people love this humble kid so much, that he gets the chance to fight for the BMF belt. Now, there's weight divisions in MMA and martial arts. And you know what BMF stands for? Baddest motherfucker. Okay, so for those of you that have problems with swear words, it's just the name of the belt. Okay, I'm just got to tell you what it is. All right, so the people that are the biggest and the baddest fighters pick out a weight that they both can agree on, and they fight for this belt. So it's pretty fascinating, right? And so, long story short, the guy that is the BMF champion, Justin Gaethje, is the most violent person I've ever seen in MMA. There's no one that's got more knockouts than this guy. And there's no one that's knocked out more champions than this guy. So Dustin Poirier beat Conor McGregor 3 times. And Justin Gaethje knocked him out with a head kick and took the BMF belt. That's how bad this young kid is. So when they put this match together, there was the whole MMA community was upset because all of us want to remember Max Holloway the way he was when he was a champion. So it's like Mike Tyson fighting Jake Paul. It's like everyone's sort of going, why would you want to do that? Why would you want to take a person not in their prime and put them together in somebody in their prime? Are you guys following me? But Max Holloway got this fight because he's one of the fighters that has the largest fan base. And he told his fan base that I have more to do in life. The way I'm going to get the money is by being a champion again. And I'm going to work my ass off and I'm going to be ready for this fight. I can beat this guy. I can reinvent myself, even though I had a couple of bad fights. And so even the betting odds, Coach Bob, there's nobody. In fact, in the press release afterwards, Dana White said, we have an ability to go back and look at everyone's predictions before the fight started. And how many of you guys in the room had Max Holloway winning this fight? Not one hand. Not one. I didn't want to watch the fight because I'm going to watch one of my favorite fighters probably get hurt. You guys understand where I'm coming from? So now this magic stuff happens where now that he's in there and everyone's booing Justin Gaethje, where 3 months ago they were cheering him. But now he's going against their favorite guy, right? And so, everybody was just cheering for him. And he's the underdog. And he went in there and just destroyed this kid. It was like watching the times of the hand being wound back to when he was a champion and beat everyone that tried to take his belt. And watching that alone was just so inspiring. There were people that were literally losing their voices watching him fight the best fight he ever fought. So now he won every round. And if you win every round, there's only one thing that the other guy can do: knock you out. So Justin Gaethje went into the last round to knock Max Holloway out. It's the only way that he was going to do it. And what most fighters do when they know that they've won the fight is, why put yourself into risk? Right? Just stay away from the person and don't get knocked out, and you won this fight. And all of a sudden, in classic Max Holloway style, you hear the clapper for 10 seconds left in the very last round. He stops what he doing, fighting, goes right to the center of the ring, and starts pointing to the middle of the ring. He gave this guy that knocks out everyone a chance to knock him out in the last 10 seconds. And the guy's going, "You're going to give me this chance? You're not going to move? I'm in." So they both in 10 seconds ran to the center of the ring when he pointed it and just started throwing punches as hard as they could. And with 1 second left, Max Holloway hit this kid that's indestructible and knocked him out. And when he knocked him out and he went flat on his face on the mat, didn't move at all, I have never, ever, ever in the history of watching mixed martial arts and boxing seen that live. It messed everybody up. If you go on, Twitter or whatever, get this. This is how much it messed everybody up. Do you know that people paid $80 on pay-per-view to watch this, right? So why would you take the highlight of UFC 300 and give it to everybody? Dana White said he couldn't help himself. He couldn't help himself. He wanted the world to see what it's like to make your imagination come true. And then when he did it, he thought he better notify ESPN that he did it. And they went, "Are you kidding me? We thought that you were going to be mad because we released it too." And now Dana White's at a press conference telling everyone, "We let this go. It's on the internet." I'm sure if you put in on YouTube as well, or any social media, Max Holloway knockout, you'll get to see it. And some of you might go, "I'm not interested. I'm just not into violence." But Max Holloway reinvented himself last night. And now, if it didn't get better, it got better. So in the press conference on Friday, when all the fighters were weighing in, Dana White gives $50,000 to the best. It's called submission. All right. It's a wrestling move, jiu-jitsu move. So 50,000 goes to the best submission. $50,000 goes to the two fighters that fight the best fight. And $50,000 goes to the very best knockout. So yesterday, to make UFC 300 as a celebration, he said, "I'm raising the 50,000 bonuses to 300,000. And so Max Holloway was not only in the best fight that won, but also the best knockout. He made $600,000 with that one punch. And so now he's a champion again. And now he pretty much gets to write his tickets for the next 2-3 years. And he told all his fans that there was some things that his wife wanted to do. Sort of makes me emotional. And he said, "I had done everything that I wanted to do, but my wife sat down with me and said, now that we don't have to do this anymore, this is what I'd like to do." And he went, she says, "I don't know, we'll get loans, we can mortgage the house, maybe I can get some other people to believe in this dream and sponsor us and give us some money. And he looked at his wife and says, I know exactly where to get the money. And he had no idea that Dana White was going to raise the bonuses to 300,000. So he reinvented himself. He did it because of his wife. As soon as he won the belt, he brought his wife in, he took the belt off, and he gave it to his wife. And I'm going like, people don't know how to motivate themselves. It's pretty amazing when you do it for other people. And so Max Holloway just very simply said, he said, my wife wanted this, my fans wanted this, I owe it to them. And I can reinvent myself by changing the way I thought about me. All I needed to do is change the way I thought about me. And he goes, I learned something about myself. If you guys think what I said already is going to get you, be ready for a knockout punch. All right. He said, I discovered something very unique about me. He says, if I don't have something that's challenging that I can focus on to make myself a better me, I'm the worst me in the world. So when I found something that I could challenge myself with, I raise up and turn into a different human being when I have a challenge in front of me. So if you don't have a challenge in front of you of something that you can imagine to make the lives of the people that you love the most better, see, the reason that you're not going into action, the reason that you're not doing the things necessary to make your imagination come true every day is because you're doing it for you. It's not enough. It's not enough. It never will be enough. So the last thing I'll say to this is, if not for you, can you start talking to the people that mean the most to you and ask them what their imagination is? Get them to imagine, then use your imagination to make it happen for them. Because all of his fans wanted him to move on. See, he got his belt taken away, but he was already the world champion. So he allowed this defeat, losing his belt and then getting in a rematch and losing again. He just basically felt like he was the most worthless person in the world because he worked his ass off and he had a large fan base and he won the world championship and then he lost it. Then he tried to get it back and then he lost it. You know what his whole fan base was telling him to do? Go for a different belt. You already got that one. You already got that one. Move up and wait. Do something else. And then some of his fan base started saying, you need to go after the BMF belt. And they started rallying, putting against petitions and reaching out and hounding Dana White. Come on. You know what Max has done for this UFC. You know Max is won more bonuses for the best fight of the night. He puts it all on the line. Give this guy a shot. And when Dana White called him, he just went, there's no way I'm letting my wife and my fans down. It ain't happening. So now he gets to fight a different person for the belt. You guys like those stories? See, I like finding the story behind every person that's a champion. Every person that reinvented themselves. Every person that sort of looks at the people that helped them get there, and now all of a sudden you lose it. You know, oh my God, I got hurt. You know, I watched my father-in-law disappear before my eyes.
It hurts him bad. So
I'm hearing something.
I got it.
Feedback.
I think Raymond or something. It sounded like Raymond. I don't know who it was.
Yeah, I got it. I got it.
But just to close it up, you guys, I watched my father-in-law, Sam, one of the men I respect most on this planet, totally waste away and died because he just didn't have another challenge in his life. He was bitter and mad because he was doing his job and someone from the president of the Teamsters wasn't paying attention and was drunk and backed over him in a parking lot while he was walking. And so no way did this man deserve that. No way did this man deserve the lack of settlement that he got. No way did he desire that quality of his life for the rest of his life, being in pain. But he didn't reinvent himself. He was bitter and pissed off that someone was able to take his life away. When we've all seen people that have had some really tragic things happen in their life, and then they find a way how to reinvent their lives. My biggest example always is I can't imagine a loss of a child. That to me, and where I am today, that would be a challenge that I'm not looking forward to. I don't want to experience that. And then you got one group that the partners turn on each other. You guys know what I'm talking about? And so now the partners turn on each other because they don't know how to do it. So now that relationship is broken. And then you always hear the story from the kids. It's like, yeah, ever since my sister died, my parents could give a shit about me. It's like, oh, man. And so we hear that. And then we hear other parents going, you know what? We're going to make sure that our child's name lasts forever. And they find out how to correct something. They end up going to Congress and Senate, getting laws in their names. They put foundations together to raise millions of dollars to help every other kid that's in that scenario. And they have to reinvent themselves from being a parent of a child's name to being an advocate for their child's name. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? And it's like, yeah, the only way I know to create the best life is you got to start imagining yourself, challenging yourself. That's something you would do for others. And so I know that I was given some amazing gifts. And with those gifts, I was given some knowledge and wisdom that allows me to help others that have ears to hear. And when I can get someone to imagine their life in a better place than it is, and they don't want to live their life the way it is anymore, magic happens. But the beginning seems like once you start putting yourself in an optimistic, positive imagination of creating things that will be better for people that you love and others, it does seem like the whole world turns on you. And probably the worst world that turns on you is the inches between your ears. Because it's not easy But if it was easy, it wouldn't be worth it. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it. If it was easy, there wouldn't be any wow factor. You guys know what I'm talking about? It's like the people that win in life over and over again are sometimes majority of the people would be people that you never heard of. But they reinvented themselves. They turned imagination. We hear about it all the time on Shark Tank. There's nothing more that cracks me up than Shark Tank. You know, hey, have you ever gotten a muffin or a cupcake? Yeah. You know how you take the paper off the cupcake and it gets all over you? Yeah, that's bullshit. So we're going to put cupcakes in jars. We're going to call it wicked cupcakes, and we're going to put cupcakes in jars, and you can take the lid off and it's safe. It doesn't dry out. It lasts forever. And once you take the lid off, it doesn't make a mess, so you can eat it with a fork or a spoon. And then you hear the update on wicked cupcakes from Shark Tank. Oh, they made $400 million from cupcakes. Why hasn't everybody ever thought about putting them in jars? I don't know, but I just have this imagination that I could make a cupcake last longer and it wouldn't be so damn messy. Do you guys love these stories as much as I do? I love the other one where these kids lost their mom to cancer and their dad was a fireman. And so he cooked for the firemen. And so he made a cutting board that had a little tray in it. So as you're cutting, you could just scrape stuff into the tray and then dump the tray into the garbage. And so while their dad was trying to get this sold after he created it, their father died of cancer. And so these three kids come on Shark Tank and tell the story about their lost mom and dad, and that all they would like to do is find a way to support themselves and also raise the memory of their parents if they could find someone to make this cutting board. And if you haven't watched it, you need to watch it. Because as soon as the kids finished their story, all 5 of the sharks at the same time said, we're in. We're in. We're going to give exactly what you want, and we're going to get in and sell a million of these freaking cutting boards. Like someone doesn't already have a cutting board. And see, and that's where this guy gets you, right? That's where yourself gets you. It's like you learn to tell your imagination correctly, and people will come out of the woodworks to make it happen. So I hope that didn't go too long. So Craig, back to you.
Wow, I hope everybody got that. And thank you, Robert. It's imagination.
That's what it is.
And by the way, I did find that clip on the Shark Tank. I'll post it up as we get things rolling.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to it. I see 2 hands up. I see Coach Bob, but first, Kimmery beat Coach Bob to the punch. So, Kimmery, you are going first. Go ahead, open up, and please share with us.
Hi, guys. I just wanted to say first, congratulations to Robert about your views and your members. That's so exciting.
Yeah, it's like
right?
It's like a field of imagination for me. Say the first thought that came to my mind was field of dreams, build it and they will come.
Yes.
And so it's a field of imagination for me. I keep creating videos and thank God people keep showing up.
Oh, that's so exciting.
So thank you very much. And thank you for your love and support with that.
Yes. I had a couple of questions, and if you
Please.
need to organize them, or we can talk some of it now, some of it later. I'm all
No,
good.
go right ahead.
Um,
If you feel comfortable in this form, I know all the questions for everything that I do helps other people, because some people just, for whatever reason, don't feel like they want to ask questions. And so thank you for being bold. Go ahead and ask.
Okay. I'm having an ADD moment, so you're just going to get it all in one go then.
You do know that ADD is a superpower, don't you?
Yes, absolutely.
Good, good.
I do. The first thing is, since I think I got to share last time or ask some questions last time, I have created 2 small art videos.
Okay.
I have not posted them yet. Thank you. Well, because I have questions, and this may be a Matthew thing. Maybe you can point me in the right direction.
No problem.
One of the videos, I forgot to start talking until halfway through it. So I need to go through and like do some voiceover over the top of it and fix it.
Okay.
The second one is I did this Vanna White thing at the end where I was presenting what I had made, and it just looks ridiculous. And I want to cut like 10 seconds off the end of that. And I am trying to figure out how. I tried to edit it myself a couple of times, and it keeps reappearing when I think I've cut it.
What are you using to cut the video?
I think I'm just using, well, I made the video on my cell phone camera. So I'm trying to go back and like delete a couple of seconds just off the camera footage. And that's not happening.
What kind of phone do you have?
I have the iPhone 14 Pro.
Okay. The one thing that you guys want to do is every way that you would think to ask me or Matt a question, always do that on YouTube. Ask it exactly that way. I have iPhone 14. I recorded a video, and I'm trying to figure out how to edit it with my iPhone. And you do that, and you're gonna go, oh, okay, and then you're gonna try it, and you'll get it.
Okay.
And the other one, because I always tell people, regardless of the videos you do, I just tell people upload them. When I started doing lives again, the first 2 videos that I did, I used the wrong camera. And so now instead of this one, I was looking at this one.
Right.
And of course, the view of it, was like this.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hi, everybody. It's like, yeah, just sort of laugh and go with it. Another thought is once you upload it to YouTube, there's also editing tools in YouTube that I use. So I use YouTube to edit videos all the time, and I'm getting gooder and gooder and gooder doing that. And let me tell you why I use YouTube's editing is because then I can teach everybody else how to do it for free.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So depending on your technical feelings, right? I know that I seen Jamie here put CapCut. I know that a lot of people, including Craig and Matthew and others, use some really cool, great software. I haven't made a decision to do that. And the only reason why is I have a filter in my mind that everything that I do, I have to be able to teach others to do.
Okay.
And so when people might be financially not in a good place, and then you're teaching them to imagine, and then you're saying you just need to buy these 6 programs. It only costs you $100 a month to get started with your imagination. I think that everybody that has an incredible imagination need to step up and start using the tools that Matt and others use? Absolutely. Absolutely. I probably just won't be one of them. I've learned at 62, why not stay with the thing that gives me the most joy is what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
And so come from my heart. Sometimes the words are wrong. Sometimes I'm using the wrong camera. People laugh at me. I just stepped up, you guys. You guys are going to be proud of me. Do you know that 99.999% of all my videos are done with the microphone that came with my laptop? Now, some of you that are really technical are going, "Are you serious?" And yeah, this is the mic that I use on my laptop. So with podcasts, I stepped up, and I might even have a microphone soon. You know what I mean? And I'm sort of scared about the duplication of doing that. So it's like,
it will be funny, Dad, because I think with the situations like that, like most people don't realize that you've just been using your microphone on your laptop because they don't think about it. Because most people just assume, oh, he's probably using some expensive mic like this one, right? But he's not. So he's not as critical about it as I am. He doesn't have like the whole thing set up. So
yeah, Matt, I'm so yeah. You're right. It's like my microphone is so technical that my voice sounds awesome and you can't see my microphone. It's like everybody else.
but then if you
can
can't
see
see
their
it, then how do you
headset.
know that it exists?
You can see their headset, you can see their microphone, and it's like I'm just magically pulling this off. I love you, Matt. So Kimberly,
too.
help you?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And then my next questions were more businessy related.
Sure.
And I think we kind of talked about this last time, but work has been insane at my day job. So I apologize. I don't recall. I may re-ask a little bit of it.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Stop apologizing. Stop apologizing.
I am super fired up about actually doing something as an affiliate. Can I, what am I looking to ask? I have some things that I want to do with it, like some organizations and some nonprofits that I really want to work with the MDC format, in terms of like donating portions of the proceeds, like you're doing with the orphans. I want to do stuff with the homeless and with first responder organizations. And those are the big things that are near and dear to me. I used to have an affiliate account. I'm not sure I still do. I know I'm shopping, but I don't know if that's an affiliate account or a customer account or what that is anymore. And can I like quit and then re-sign up underneath you?
Well, question one is, how often do you purchase from MDC?
Once a month, once every 6 weeks.
Good.
Probably not enough.
So know that I will adopt you, just like I've adopted a lot of people already on my deals, and it's okay for you to stay exactly where you are.
Okay.
So when you log in to place an order, if you're a customer, there's a place in there, if you look around, that says that I want to become an affiliate.
Okay.
And when you click on that link, you'll fill out some other information. If it says owner's name, just know that that's your name. People don't know why that's there. It's because if companies come in, they could put their company name. So it'd be Robert Hollis and then Hollis Organization. But you don't have to do that. And then once you become an affiliate, then under website, you're going to see all the affiliate links that you can use to share with everybody else.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's really that easy. So I don't care who brought you to the dance. I'll still dance with you. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, and the reason that I always tell people that is, it's the golden rule. It's the total golden rule. If you know, if and there's been people that, you know, you think about it, but there has been some people going, no, I'm just not interested in working with the people that are above me. Not at all. Well, then the rules are very, very clear. You got to set out 6 months. So you terminate your position, and it's got to be terminated. You got to call, you know, send whatever you got to do to MDC to terminate your spot, then set out 6 months and come back in.
Okay.
So think about that. And if you want to, reach out to me privately and we'll discuss your options, because there's still a lot of things that you can do while you're building your imagination if there's just no way that you want the people above you to be a part of it, you know? So me, I know this is going to sound weird. I've worked on myself well enough where I don't care who's above me. It starts with me on down.
Right.
So how many people you can put a flag in or a one if you know that you're an orphan and I've been working with you this whole time. It's like I always tell people all the time, it's like, you know, where I get my rewards and my blessings and my flow is not from other people. You know what I mean? It's usually paid, it's usually paid to me from other people. So you being a part of the Imaginator group, part of the Inner Circle group, being a part of everything that we're doing, that's more than enough for me.
Okay. And then I think my last question is, if I am doing art videos, should I be creating a second YouTube for business stuff? Because I was hearing you talk the other day about we could share your videos.
Yep.
But
Yep.
I didn't want to
Absolutely.
do that. Here's
my thoughts. Here's my thoughts. My newest thoughts and my imagination is I'm unique. I have my own DNA. There's no one that was created like me. So I need to trust in my belief of what I need to do. And so there's a lot of people out there that will tell you that you need a niche and that you should do different channels. And me, I just know from me personally, that splitting my mind is splitting my heart. It's splitting who I am. And so everything's on one channel now. It's like, so if I'm talking about automobiles or I'm talking about network marketing or I'm talking about MDC or Imaginators, everything for me is going to be in one place. And if people don't like people that have man, I never even thought about this, you know, you look at some of the most successful people on the planet and they seem like they have no problem telling you what they're doing. It's like I'm doing mixed martial arts. I also got this, you know, virtual reality IR thing going on. It's so funny that the last 3 biggest MMA fights, sitting right next to Dana White is Mark Zuckerberg and his wife. Very interesting. Very interesting, because for people that don't know much about martial arts, there is, in my opinion, there's nothing else on the planet that can humble you more. Because we all have an ego. And we all have that sort of mama bear, daddy bear. You know, we all have this thing in our mind that, you know, if someone was going to do us wrong or do some of the people that we loved wrong, that there's going to be hell to pay. We all have this imagination. If something happened, that I could protect them, that they would be in trouble. And so when you get a martial arts, especially jujitsu, one of the first things they do to you is bring you in and you get to fight a yellow belt. And the yellow belt is usually a kid. If the bigger man that you are, it's a kid, and it's usually a girl that weighs like 90 pounds. And so the guy comes in there, you know, he's 6 foot, 230, 240 pounds. And it's like, the next thing he knows, he's tapping and crying because this little 90-pound girl is like feels like he's going to break his leg or put him to sleep or, and then it always happens because egos are egos. So once you tap out or you wake up because you didn't tap, and it's like, okay, Kimmery, I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. So let's do this again. And then it happens again. There's nothing I love more than you know, a 90-pound kid or a woman, you know, tapping out somebody that's got an ego that thinks they could beat the crap out of somebody. That is just the funniest thing in the world. So it humbles you to such a point that you then realize that you just don't know that you don't know. And it usually kicks in the imagination to go, man, if I learn these skills, then I can imagine myself actually for real being able to protect myself and the people I love. Is no longer a little fantasy. So there's this big joke that's been going around because Elon Musk is in martial arts, and so is Mark Zuckerberg. So everyone thought it was a rumor, but Dana White's been trying to put this fight together forever because it'd be the biggest fight ever put on. You know, watching these two socially awkward geeks, you know, fighting against each other. And everyone's right now that knows them both goes, Mark Zuckerberg would kick his ass. Totally. He's that dedicated. He shows up all the time. Mark Zuckerberg has been in a number of tournaments. The last one that he fought in, he won in his division. That's pretty freaking cool. So, you know, that'll teach you how to do something. Again, challenging yourself. Isn't that interesting? You're one of the wealthiest people in the world. What the hell am I going to do? Why don't I get into something that I know nothing about, where almost everyone that I practice with makes me feel like I'm nobody? That's a place to grow. That's a place to grow. So thank you, Kimmery. Anything else?
I think that's it.
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. Send me a private message if you would know immediately, I believe, if you logged into your MDC account, whether or not you're affiliate. I would say that look for reports and commission. And if you don't see one of the tabs to say report and commissions, you're probably just a customer.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Yes. Thank you.
Do you know who your upline is?
I do.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Yep. Out earn them.
That's the plan.
Good.
Yep.
Thank you for your love and support. Back to you, Craig.
Thank you, Kimmery. Got to give a shout out to, before we go on, I see Ola's hand up and Coach Bob's. Shout out to Melody Ryba, who donated. She put some money into the super chat. So Melody, bless you and thank you. And if you do want to do that, now the super chat is associated with YouTube, so you got to be on YouTube. Click on the $ at the bottom of the chat, and then you can donate, and all the donations go to the charities that Robert supports. 100%. So Deborah Bronner's hand just went up. We got 3 hands up. Let's keep it going because we are the Imaginators. I'm going to have fun doing this.
I'm telling you, if you keep doing that, it's going to force Bill to figure out how you do that. And now we got.
Oh, that's true.
That's
true.
Bill's doing
That's the
reverb.
thing. Craig's always stepping up his hosting things. He's irreplaceable.
Bring it on. No. Okay. Coach Bob, it's your turn. Go ahead, unmute, please, and share with us.
Great job, Craig. We always love you, man. We love all those. Bringing his A game, right, Robert?
Absolutely.
So, and Melody, we got to hear you on here one time. I'd love to hear you talk to Robert.
She actually came on and talked on our Where was it? Where was
Inner
it?
Circle.
Yeah.
Oh,
on
that was
Thursday.
my internet was out. God darn, I'll have to rewatch that.
Yes, please do, because she is in freaking incredible.
She's awesome. Yeah, I know.
Yes.
Robert, I just want to thank you for opening up my imagination. You know, I was kind of stuck, just happy with setting my day and just trying to get through the day. And like today, your stories and the opening really touched me. You know what I mean? It's just, it's hard to break out of it. You know what I mean? Just trying to support the family. Huh?
What if it wasn't hard?
It would be, and it would be easy.
Well, just think of this. Thoughts are things. So when we say, man, it's hard. It's really hard to change what I'm doing. And your brain goes, your wish is my command.
It's true. True.
It's wild. We don't hear ourselves, Bob. We don't hear yourself. I tell my sons, my wife, everyone around me, if you guys hear me beating myself up or self-sabotaging myself, you got to interrupt me and call me on it. Just do it. And then people go, wow, I say that a lot. I say that a lot. I say that I don't have enough time, that changing what I do is going to be very hard, that I'm not really good in a technical thing. I'm not a people person. I don't look good on camera. I'm not a very good teacher. Yeah, why don't you just give me a whole list of shit that you suck at?
Yeah, but not. I didn't know. I mean, up until now, I didn't know, Robert. I'd just come down and grind on my computer and try to get sales right.
Yeah.
And just another thing, going back, the big thing is not quitting, right? I mean, I've been in here 4 years, and you know, I didn't start out good. I mean, not at all. You know, and until the 4th year, people don't stay that long, and then they drop out before they even know they're good, right? So, if I can tell everybody this, it's just stay in there, keep grinding on it, keep working on it. You'll get it. You know, people quit way too early in life. But just thanks a lot. And about that fighter, that whole, when you said about his wife, I got to go ask my wife what she wants. You know, I just haven't done that. I'm just too busy. I shouldn't say I'm too busy.
Now, here's
I just haven't done that.
Okay. Now, let me tell you something right now that every one of you will learn from. When you hear yourself say that stuff, right? That's just aware. And I tell people, how fast can you be aware? I love telling this story. It'd be like, Bob, you and I meet at a convention. And I walk up to you and I say, Bob, listen, I have a friend that's hanging out with me. He's going through some tough times right now. And going through a really, really, really bad divorce. And in the divorce, he's not allowed to see his kids, and he's got a restraining order on him. I only say this to you when this guy shows up and smiles at you and says, oh, this is Bob Johnson. I've seen him on the Zooms. And you look at him and go, how you doing? And he goes, great. And so, hey, you married and got family? I just, if you could refrain saying that stuff, just be aware. Your response would be, no problem. Your response would be, no problem. Yep, you told me, made me aware, not doing it anymore. But then we keep lying to ourselves, don't we? You go, oh my, I just don't know if I can. I don't know. It's weird. It's so weird.
Oh,
if someone else asked you, hey, listen, oh, by the way, you know, if you and your wife's coming over to the house to have a dinner, you know, probably bring some edibles instead of wine. You know what I mean? My wife doesn't drink wine. You know, it's just crazy where we can make instant decisions no longer to do the things that we know that are self-destructive.
Right.
If we believe that we can do it, right? So one of the things that you could say to your wife and your kids is just very simply say, you know what? Robert shared some stuff with me. And have you guys ever seen these nonprofit organizations and they draw like a thermometer? You know what I mean? And it's usually someplace where everyone can see it. And as donations come in, they fill it in red and they just go up. I'd like for all of us to imagine going on a trip. And the first thing I want to know from all of you is, where do you want to go? Money is not an issue. And all of them start talking about, man, we'd like to go to Greece. I just always wanted to go to Greece. And you listen to them. And then you go, well, what would you do there? And you go, so I'm going to take the time. Let's find out what it costs for 4 tickets to go to Greece. When we go there, we want to go first class. And when we go there, we want to have all the excursions that we need to go on. And so we got to budget out room and meals and going to things that we want to see. And so, you know, maybe we need to be there at least a week. And so let's talk about what we're going to do. And then I'm going to pick up some cardboard at Office Depot if they're still alive. You know what I mean? And we're going to put this on the wall. And then we're going to figure out how much it's going to cost for us all to go. And then we're going to slowly but surely fill up this thermometer. So I need all of your guys' help to not only imagine and get our dreams way out there of what we're going to do as a family, but we also I need you guys to help me and encourage me. When you see I'm working hard and doing things, now you know I'm doing it for us and not me. What?
Powerful.
So me and Bob had like a one-on-one, and I was just telling him, I said, you know, he was unaware. See,
Yeah.
ignorance is not a bad word. It's I don't know. And so Bob goes, you know, I'm just this average guy that doesn't really do anything. I was telling him, I was saying, hey, listen, I didn't know that you were a renter. He goes, what do you mean? And I go, how much is your rent? Why would you think that I rent? I own my home. And I go, oh, you own it. Do you remember when you first purchased it? And I seen him go, oh yeah, I do. Was your wife happy? You know what I mean? Were you happy that your wife was happy? Because that used to be a freaking imagination of one day owning your home. Bam. So I'd like to know, Bob, from the second that you and your wife thought it would be cool to have your own home, how long between the times that you discussed it to the times that you pulled it off?
It wasn't pretty quick. It's pretty quick. I just did it.
Was it?
So we did
Wait
it.
a minute. It was pretty quick. Was it hard?
No.
So what would Coach Bob say to a person like Matt? And he's saying, well, me and Hannah are thinking about starting a family and we'd like to own a home. But it will probably take forever. It's going to be hard. I got to get all this stuff done first before I think about purchasing a home. Look at you. You would go, that's bullshit. That's total bullshit. When you step out, you seem to find the right buyers, the right home.
Right.
And all of a sudden you learn things from people that like making money from selling homes. They go, how's your credit rating? Well, it sort of sucks. We'll fix that. I got someone that will fix that. Do you have a down payment? No. Well, don't worry about it. You're a first-time home buyer. So we got these, and you're like, what? when we bought the house that I've been in now forever, with Terry and I, we all heard about the really bad stuff that happened in 2008, where the real estate market flipped upside down because they were putting people in loans that they couldn't afford. I was one of them, but I could afford it. So I sat down there, and these are times, if you guys bought a home during that time, you know, they go, well, what do you make? And I was saying, well, my company makes the money. And they're like a lawyer. They're going, you would need to earn like $280,000 a year to get this loan. What do you make? I go, 300,000. They go, perfect answer. And then I'm going like, oh my God, no wonder the market flipped upside down, right? But then again, wasn't that imagination?
Right.
Yeah, these guys are like, how can we sell homes? And then they fill all the paperwork out and they go, what can you put down for a down payment? And I said, I'd like to put nothing. And they went, we'll get you a second loan on the home for the down payment. In fact, we can actually give you a loan for 120% of the value of the home, because isn't there things that you would like to fix up on the house once you bought it? I go, there is. In the master bedroom, I'm sorry, what's the correct word now? Primary bedroom. Can't call it master anymore. In the primary bedroom, there was no bathtub. My wife loves taking baths. This is the weirdest shit I've ever seen. And I said, don't worry, I'll knock this wall out and I'll build you a giant bathtub here. And me and Matt helped me, and Kyle helped me build a whole bathroom, put all the washer and dryer downstairs.
Oh, wow.
You know? And so we're imagining this, right? And the next thing we know, we're in this house. It did happen that fast. But all the people that haven't done it thinks that it's hard, it's difficult. I don't have the right things in line, blah, 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 blah.
Just not knowing, you
Right.
know, you're not knowing of it.
Yeah. So you know for a fact, Coach Bob, that there's people all day, every day, because you know their marketing materials, that do nothing but want people to buy very, very expensive coaching programs and courses. All of them that I know that are good have been doing it before I started marketing, and they're still doing it. So the Frank Hearns and the Brendan Burchards and all these guys they're still marketing today, selling something. And they're selling it to people that have dreams about changing their lives. See, if you really look out there and have the right awareness, there's a lot of people selling a bunch of stuff to a bunch of people that want to change their lives.
Oh, yeah. And how many do they really help? You know what I mean? How many people, what, 1%, 2%?
Yeah.
Even do the
I honestly say this, it's always less than 1%, but it's not because the information is not available. It's the people just don't believe that they can do it.
Yeah.
Because you know what testimonials that we get to see on every one of their pages is the people that did it. So, you know, you watch a Bowflex commercial, they got some ripped up dudes and ripped up women on those. They haven't done that for me, but
they sell a lot of them.
But thank you, Bob, man.
I really appreciate you. Love you. Do I got time for a couple more?
Yep.
All right. So my next one is I'll do this one quick. What I'd like to see, Robert, is if we could promote you more to get more people in here. So if you could give us like banners or some stuff, you know, that we can kind of draw in more people here. I think if we all work together, we could kind of help you do that. You know what I mean? And I think it makes it a better group because you get more people in here, you know, more different views. So if we could kind of think about that, you know, I think everyone would be happy to post your stuff and like it all the time and comment on some of the stuff too, share it. The other thing is I'd like Matt to come on, and then the music thing, if you could kind of go over some stuff he's working on, either now or later, or because it's kind of
yeah, just give me a minute. I just made toast, so
And actually,
so much.
Bob, if I can just throw in something really quick to answer your previous question before Matt. Why not? I mean, we kind of do that already with some of the things that we have out there, like the shorts from YouTube.
I try to comment on a lot of them, and
okay,
yeah.
But
or what do you want to do?
You can promote those very simply. Let me do this.
I agree with you, Craig, but
you can promote those simply by copying the URL, like in Facebook, and putting them on your YouTube or Facebook page.
I do. Well, I don't do that, but you know what? Sometimes I'll copy like these and then I'll put them on my page, like for MMAs and stuff like that. I mean, we do have it. I'm just saying it'd be nice to have a little bit more.
And then we also go ahead, Robert. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Greg, I think Bob just nailed it on the head. And we do not have, in my opinion, we don't have very short things that everyone could share to drive more people to us.
I mean, I think we could double this. Like, let's say we set a goal for us and say, like in the next 3 months, let's double our people.
Like that graphic, that graphic that Matt created with the
daily live graphic, yeah.
Or I mean, the Imaginators, where you had the man and the woman on there. See, we watched him create.
Oh, the superheroes, yes.
Yeah, we watched him create it, but is it giving a call of action and where to go? You know what I mean? I know that I do a lot of stuff, and there's nothing in it that is short and sweet and directly to the point. And to show you that great minds think a lot alike, Coach Bob, is me and Matt were talking about that, and Craig, you know, on our last, I think it was after we did like a podcast or something, and we're talking about, you know, the goal is to impact more people faster. So yeah,
and you know, it'll just help us all out because bringing in more experience in there. Someone brings in one tip, you know, that'd be awesome, right? So that's just my opinion. You know, I know we can do it, Craig. I definitely understand what you're talking about.
Yeah,
but I don't think enough people are doing it.
Exactly.
We've got to get everybody. We've got to get everybody in here to do it. And also, you know, I try to like and share everybody else's stuff. I got to get in there more, but I think we got to help each other out here too. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I agree.
Yeah. You know, so
Matt, you done with your toast?
Yeah, I am done with my toast.
Awesome.
I devoured it.
All right.
It was good toast.
So what was your question for Matt, Bob?
Yeah, you know, he was talking about the music, and then I was wondering where he is on the animation stuff or his.
I'm back in action on the animation stuff, and the music stuff. There's a couple of new things that have come out that have made it pretty great. Before that, though, I will tell you guys that with the Imaginator stuff, you will see a lot more trailer-like shorts. And if you guys want to help us out with that, one place you can help us out, make a short, like 30-second to 60-second testimonial on how this experience has been, because you might be in one of those, and that would benefit us, because in a lot of ways, testimonials are like huge, right? So if any of you guys want to just sit down and go, here's what I've gotten from Imaginators so far, we'd appreciate that, because I think what I see as it is, like, I do have some graphics that I could send to you guys. I absolutely will. I would love to get like a sizzle video together for Imaginators that says everything that it's kind of about in less than 60 seconds that you guys could share with anybody. Because those videos like really sell them with AI. Like, I've already taken some shots at it. I don't mind sharing them here. Craig will have to play it though. But I'll go into the stuff that Yeah, I'll send it to you here in a second after I do the.
Matt, is this
1
the
minute.
one that you shared in the Imaginator course?
I mean, it's just that sizzle. Let me find it quick.
That had
Could you just?
like the little clone of Craig's voice or whatever?
It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't yet. But I had Craig reshoot it because we're gonna have a different voice over this. But this was the promo that I'm currently working on. I think I shared it with you guys, but I'm not quite sure. So I'm sending it right now in Telegram.
It's short and sweet. There's no reason why we
Okay,
can't.
I see sending file. So give me a
Yep,
moment.
44 seconds. But we're changing the voiceover on this, so.
Okay, hang on a second. Let me.
You know, I shared something on Telegram just the other day, and I just opened it up in Telegram, Craig.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I have to, I want to make sure that I have it. So give me a moment. I think I've got it here. So everybody hang on.
But Bob, thank you for bringing up that idea.
Yeah, that's very nice of you.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to get more people in here. I see we're always at 20. It seems kind of, you know, and we should have like 50 to 100 easy, right?
Well, the other thing I thought too, Bob, is you know how difficult for me.
Hold it, Robert. What did you just say?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I was testing
If he
you
wasn't
guys.
going to say it, I was going to.
Yeah.
I was going to let someone else say it.
But I didn't set you guys up. That came out of my mouth for real. All right. So let me finish the sentence the way I should change it. So you know that I'm human and I suffer from this stuff as well. Instead of saying the word difficult, I need to find ways that make me comfortable in promoting and edifying myself. In the past, I would rather do anything but that. But if I'm going to make a bigger impact, and I love people and I know what this will do for people, that has to be one of my priorities. So with that said, I'm going to edify and promote myself just a little, okay? If I were where you guys are, trying to get people to become a part of a community where they see that they could feel and think different and become different for $4.99, I'd be stuffing people in Imaginator 24-hour days. Because a lot of people might not read this. A lot of people might not read it and follow it. But to pay $4.99 to hear one of our Imaginators, that would sort them really frickin' fast. Because the majority of the people out there that I see that are struggling are not plugged into nothing. I rephrase that. They're plugged into everything they shouldn't be plugged into. Yes or yes. So they're plugged into beating themselves up. They're plugged into saying negative shit. They're plugged in wanting other people to support them. Too high expectations on people and things out of their control. They really are a mess. 24 hours a day plugged into the wrong shit. Why wouldn't you be depressed? Right? So allowing somebody, so what I used to do in the past before the internet is getting them in front of something that made them feel different. And we used to do events that were pretty freaking amazing. And I learned that from my mentor. So, you know, you show up at one of those events and went to that event. It's not that you would learn something, but you definitely would feel different. So how many people have been to an event where it makes you feel different? Would you say church is an event? Worship, a concert? See, that That is something where people would no longer feel alone. So when I started doing lives again, and I realized how many people sent me a message, at least 50, that sent me a message saying thank you. And I went, damn it, that was one thing I wasn't thinking about. And I apologize. So I figured out and I brought it back. So I think you guys got a preview to what I'm talking about tomorrow. You know, because for me, watching Max Holloway do what he did was the total definition of the world having the world and you thinking that you're done and you figure out how to do it for other people. And it's like, no, you're still there. You're still there. You just had to figure it out like me. I could have gave a shit if I ever did network marketing ever again. Matt, am I telling the truth? Depending on, Melody knows it too. Depending on the thing you listened to me when I left Gano Excel and Gano Life, you would catch me at times being anti-network marketing. That's how human I am. Why? Because at one time I was anti-women and anti-marriage. I took the whole thing and I allowed one person to steal my imagination. I allowed one person to hurt me and make a decision, and I lose my imagination. So it wasn't until Matthew said to me in this office that you guys have heard, I go, what's wrong? I could just tell his energy was off. And he's going, Dad, I just don't want to do this shit anymore. There's no end to it. We got to constantly create courses. We got to constantly come up with advertising. As soon as we nail it, then they change it. I just never, ever see us getting ahead. When are we going to have any freedom? Now we're doing a bunch of shit we don't want to do. Why? For money? And I said, then quit. Stop doing this. Let's do something else. And the response out of Matt's mouth is, if we stop this, how are we going to take care of ourselves as a family? We got to make this money so you and Mom can stay afloat. And I said to him, I said, Matt, that's not your responsibility. That's my responsibility. I'll take care of that right now. And when I made that decision to do that, the real story was I always leave out a step. Okay. Terry came to Matt and I and said, can you help me with my little business? At the time she did that, I don't tell people this, I'm not lying, but she was with Melaleuca. We found out immediately if me and Matt did what we knew how to do with Melaleuca, she would get terminated. So now we had to say to her, there's got to be something else. But when your mind's open, it's like a parachute. So the next thing that happened is me and Terry are sitting watching TV, and she said, I can't believe this Club 8 went out of business. I'm so upset. And I went, why? And she says, I was buying CBD from them, and it was helping me with my back. So she's got to be very careful what she says, because I'm on the internet searching. I love making her happy. And so I just put in the internet most documented CBD. And a third-party lab report showed up from HempWorks. And the document said, documentation beats conversation. This guy stole my trademark. But that got me interested. So I searched Facebook for somebody that was in HempWorks. I still look at some of your guys' Facebook profiles and go, it's hard to make your imagination come true when no one knows what the hell you're doing. mind-boggling to me. It's like you guys want people to be mind readers and you're a secret agent. It's like, it's bizarre to me. And some of you are just the opposite. You go to your web pages and your link tree, and your link tree has 82 links on it. And it's like, hey, try to figure out what I'm doing. It's like, wow, okay. Sorry, that was something that came out of my subconscious mind that I thought I'd help you guys with. Okay. So when I went on Facebook, I just put HempWorks. I mean, I'm sorry, I put HempWorks and Facebook search, and Jenna Zwegel's site came up immediately. And her frickin' link was on there. How many of you would like me in your group? It'll never happen because I'll look on your page and there's no link to click on. Or too many links to click on, right? So think about this. What if I would have clicked on the link and the very first thing that it did was trying to sell me something? I would go, I don't want to do sales. So when I clicked on HempWorks, I signed up my wife to order the CBD 500 to see if this would work for her. Then 3 days later, she said, I get emails every day from this freaking company that you signed me up in. And it's saying, you got another person, you got another person, you got another person. And the rest is history. So I was going, wow, if this product works for her, this could be the little company that me and Matt build for her. So my story's similar to Max Holloway's. I just wanted to build Terry a little business while me and Matt found something else better to do. Than being, I don't know if you guys seen it, sorry to get off track here, but Ted that runs business from home, one of his recent posts were, man, how many coaches and trainers and life coaches are trying to teach people how to live a better life when their life sucks. That's the way I interpreted it. You know what I mean? It was probably smaller than that. But for people that know me, that's my biggest pet peeve. My biggest pet peeve is you stepping in, trying to be the expert when you have no documentation that you're an expert. It's bizarre to me. I'll keep promoting Josh and Jenna all day long. So yeah, Matt?
Yes.
Shall we show that video?
Yeah, no, go ahead, Craig.
All right, hang on, here we go.
Thank you for that, Dad, by the way. You know, like that whole story and reminding yourself, like I feel like I'm even going through one of those processes now myself, where it's like, you know, the marketing stuff that I've been doing my whole life, I'd much be rather doing what I'm going to show you guys. So yeah. I'm more in like the creative zone. I'd rather be making commercials than be making Facebook ads, you know? So
would anybody share Matt's commercials if he made them?
Oh.
You're about to see one.
Okay.
Can't hear it, Craig. Fortunately. Maybe it's muted.
I just thought, okay, hang on. I did unmute it.
Could you drag the bar where the sound is? Pull it like all the way to the right.
Yeah.
So see where
hang on.
God, no problem.
This thing is, yeah.
Craig, what do you do all day? Can you learn how to do this correctly?
Let me see if I can.
I got it.
Oh, perfect. Thanks, Craig.
Yeah.
Oh, love you, Craig.
Love you too, guys. All right, here we go. One more time.
Every dream starts with a spark. At Imaginators, these sparks become flames. Join us in a journey led by the mentorship of Robert Hollis, a sanctuary where dreams find direction. Discover your passions, explore possibilities, break down barriers, with a community by your side and insights that illuminate paths. Dreams aren't just for dreaming, they're for achieving. Welcome to Imaginators. Don't let your potential wait any longer. Let's unlock it together. See you there. Your journey begins now.
I put, just to put it into perspective, I threw that together in maybe like an hour and a half with AI. So from the stuff that I've been practicing, so I would definitely, I was just doing a run at it to see what it would look like, but I would definitely make something a lot better than that you guys will be able to share. Craig was nice enough to take the script that I made for that and re-record it in his own voice. So now I can run that through any AI voice I want, including my dad's, and it sounds like him doing the voiceover. But we might just, I've been practicing with the editing. I think we're just going to leave Craig. So I don't think I'm going to take Craig's voiceover in any way. So
awesome. And the thing that I shared with you guys that I'm going to get better at, I promise. Matt showed me that video. And what was my first response, Matt?
Take me out of it. Oh yeah, I can't believe Daniel just linked that first Life Mechanics trailer I made. That's insane how long ago that was.
I was wondering what that was. I'm sorry, Daniel, I couldn't get to it because I was waiting for to share this.
Oh,
so
maybe he sent it directly to me.
Yeah, I have
Yeah,
it. Well,
it.
he sent one directly to me. Let me see if I can post that up. Hang
Yeah,
on
go ahead and play that. That'd be funny.
Yeah, let's take a quick look here. It's on Wistia. Oh, there it is. The jailbird himself. You'll see what I'm talking about in a minute.
Let me hold on 1 second. I don't think this is the one I thought it was. Wait 1 second.
Okay. It says Mentor Robert Hollis. That's the title.
I have the one that I was thinking about saved, and this one I feel more proud of because it has more of an emotional resonance. You'll see what I'm saying. Because this was like the first event that we ever put on. Way back when.
Life Mechanic?
Yeah. So it was like here it is. This in LA is where we did it. The one that Daniel shared was the North Carolina one, which was more of a remix of this trailer.
Okay, hang on a second.
But this one I think is better. You guys will see why. So this is just stock footage and footage I got.
Give me a moment. Looks like we gotta do that and do that. Here we go.
Greg, you're awesome.
It's not loud enough.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can't really hear.
All right, hang on a second. It's like every adjustment I make apparently goes universal.
I was gonna say, let me try something.
Here we go.
Quick.
I got it. You ready?
Thanks, Craig. Yep.
Yeah. Here we go.
Yeah, you can't hear my voice.
Yeah, I'm gonna try something real quick and see if I can. If I switch my audio here to, go ahead and stop it, Craig. If I switch my audio microphone,
that is weird because we played that's from YouTube, and we played YouTube earlier, and it usually should carry through.
You guys keep talking right now?
All right.
You can hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, I can.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Hold on 1 second. Let's try this and see if it works. I'm going to use OBS and see if you guys can see it.
All right, see that? Let me solo your screen for just a quick second.
Well, we have to make sure we can hear it first. So hold on 1 moment. Can you hear this?
No.
Okay.
We're not hearing anything. Okay. And I'm going back and trying and checking something. Yeah,
thanks for your patience, everybody.
Optimized. So I don't understand why it's not coming through.
I should be able to get it here in a second. I'm gonna just do a audio output. Desktop audio. Okay. Let me play it now. Oh, you know what?
I don't hear anything.
I got it. Once again, thank you for your patience. It's funny because like we're doing all this for just 1 minute, which is
Hey,
funny, but that's the way that it normally goes.
I really think that it's awesome that everyone's watching us be human.
Well, this is what streaming is, to be honest. Like if you guys are ever watching like professional streamers, it's not really, you're gonna have accidents, you're gonna have things that happen. So
as an individual that will tell you exactly what it takes.
Okay, that we can hear it, but it's a little soft, but it's still there. It's there.
Somebody.
Go ahead and restart it, Matt.
That is documented. What's the definition of a mentor to me? A mentor is an individual that will tell you exactly what it takes to be successful. Find somebody that is documented in helping other people succeed and learn from them. I call it a POP. It's called a point of passion. It's a point of passion where every one of you are winners. If what you know that you know that you know is not true, when would you want to know? If what you know that you know that you know is not true, when would you like to know? You want to design your day. And then my goal for you is to one day live that day. You got to think about it all the time, every day. And then guess what happens when you're really successful? You start putting more than one day together.
Wow.
What year this was?
Huh?
You remember what year it was? Mom would know.
Yeah, it's not clicking. Melody would know.
Yeah, Melody would know too.
Melody's
so
got
funny.
her,
It's just like doing all this shit that we do.
Super cape from this.
Yeah, Melody was there.
Mm-hmm. I think Melody went to every one of the.
Okay, Melody, go ahead. I'm going to unmute you. There you go. And go ahead and share with us.
Hi, guys, girls.
Hey, Melody.
So good to be here. That was one of the most incredible events for me. I mean, they're all good, but that is very significant to me, Robert. I don't remember the year. I know I have 2 notebooks filled with notes from that event, but that was the year that I remember Robert Hollis Jr. used to refer to me as the mom of Unlimited Profits.
Yeah.
Right. And that event, I told so many people to come. I know the first 2 rows of people in that event were people that I told, hey, if you want to work with me, you want to work with Robert, you have to be at this event. And Robert was doing one of his skits, which one of the characters where he was the fisherman, and it was so great. And he's got all this fancy fishing equipment, and Terry was on the side, attaching things to this the fishing pole, and he'd pull up. I remember one of the things was like a poop pillow.
A turd emoji pillow.
Right. And then one was a baby. And he was referring to the people that we come across when we're sharing our business with people, right? And he pulls up this baby, and he does this thing with the baby. And I was sitting in the very front in, that money seats, right? I was trained at an early age. So I was in the money seats. You got to be in the front, right in the center. And when he was done with the baby, he tossed it to me. And naturally, I just caught it and held it to my chest. And that baby cried. It let out a cry. And I realized that everybody in that place that I told them they had to be there, they were babies. They needed to be nurtured. They needed to be encouraged. They needed to be told what to do. They needed to be, oh my gosh. everything, everything that I didn't want to do for my team, I was the mama for them. And I mean, I just started sobbing uncontrollably. And I'll never forget Robert's eyes were like big as saucers, and his head was kind of facing the other way, but his eyes came over towards me, and he just saw that pop just explode out of my brain right at that moment. And that's when they started saying, not the mama, not the mama. I'm not going to be the mama anymore. I'm not going to be babysitting people anymore. It took up so much time, so much energy, so much encouragement that everybody needed. And those are not the people that we want. Those are not the people that we want to be attracting into our lives. And that's all I was attracting at that point. And I was never going to be able to change my life until I was able to change that mindset, that who I was attracting, who I wanted to be in my circle, who I wanted to surround myself with. That was so powerful. And literally, that's one of the biggest moments in my growth. And I'll forever be grateful for that, because my life is so different now. So different now. And Robert, it was amazing. I'll never forget those big saucer, eyeballs that just saw that, like the top of my head explode off of my body. And I could not stop sobbing. I could not. I was, when you get in a business and you're really excited and you're almost, well, for me, like I felt like I needed to convince people. I felt like I needed to twist their arms. I felt like I needed to drag them everywhere and drive them everywhere and, make sure everybody had a hotel room to be there or to be able to do anything. And it's just, that was such a life-changing moment for me, and I'll never forget it. And I'll never forget the gratitude for that. That was wonderful. And Matthew, I have to tell you, I
Oh
have
no.
been no, I can't tell you how proud I am. I was just thinking today how long I've known you, and I've
Since I
probably known you
was, yeah.
almost half your life.
Right, yeah, no
And
doubt.
watched your growth I mean, you used to never speak. I mean, as little as
I used to
possible,
just tell myself, "Hey, listen, I'm a behind the camera kind of person." But I
Yeah.
think even as I've gotten older, I've realized a lot more that, like, I don't know, like I like the performer comedic side of myself more as I've gotten older and become more comfortable with myself. So it's like I don't really need once I got over that hurdle, just like it was similar to you, but like that hurdle of what I was trying to be for everybody else instead of what I was trying to be for myself. The moment that I accepted myself for what I wanted to be, it was like a lot easier to get in front of the camera and talk to people, because it's just you're only getting mad. Like there's not really. So thank you so much, Melody. You're so
It
sweet.
has been such a pleasure to watch that growth. I mean, to see that growth in you, and just know, those times that you were quiet, you were growing. You were
Absolutely.
consuming things, you were absorbing the things that you were learning, and I know all the books that you've read and all of the things that you've worked on you, and it is so apparent today how much you've grown, and you're still the same sweet kid.
Thank you so much. That's good to hear too. You
Just
know what I mean?
ooze
Like,
more of you out on other people, so
thank you, Melody.
it's just such a pleasure. And Robert, I am so stinking proud of you.
Thanks.
And this is something Craig helped me with. Craig, you're wonderful, absolutely wonderful friend. I was telling
Bless you.
Craig the other day that, I'm always telling you how proud I am of you guys, and for putting together all of this information and continue. Your consistency has just been impeccable, and just such a great example for everybody. And, you know, I was telling him how I'm so proud of you, and I just want to tell you how proud of you. But my Dino was telling me that that was a weird thing to say to somebody so much more successful. You know, I don't know. It was a weird thing in my head. And Craig's like, well, if you're proud of him, then say it, you know, tell him. And
Yeah.
you know, that's the thing is I'm so stinking proud of all three of you guys. I just sit here listening to you guys just beaming, you know, grinning ear to ear all the time, and all of the information you guys share. I just can't thank you guys enough. I love you.
Love you too, Melody. Thank you.
Love you too,
Oh
Melody.
my God. Thank you so
Bob,
much, Melody.
Coach Bob, you got your wish. Melody came on live.
It was phenomenal. Hey, I second that, Melanie.
Thank you so much.
Melody's been quiet for a long time. It's so great to hear your voice
Yes.
twice in 1 week. It's I'm just so proud of you, Melody. You're amazing.
Absolutely incredible.
I'm just reinventing myself.
Well, it's like a constant
That's what I'm
process we
doing.
do, you know?
Yeah.
Like I think that it's good to have those times in life. There's always those times that kind of shift what you think you would be doing or what you want to be doing. And I'm going through one of those as well. So
Yeah.
So with that,
I don't know if they stop. I don't think about this. If the most joy that we have in life is in the pursuit of our imagination, when would you want the challenges to stop? It's a little opposite of what people say, isn't it?
yeah, it'd kind of get boring.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's like
we're looking at
no one wants to attempt to do anything different because of the simple thought that they could possibly fail. When they don't understand that it's not in the failing or winning, it's in the process of making the imagination happen. It's stepping into that, being a creator because you were created to be a creator. Just that simple. It's like, you know, the life that you were given is a gift. What you do with that life is your gift back to whatever you believe in. And so I'm enjoying more doing different challenges and all the stuff in my life, you know, knowing that too much is given, much is required. So I can live pretty comfortable on a couple of $1 million a year. This is not about me. I want a studio. I want Matt to hire the best people, and I want to create stuff that is going to blow your guys' minds away. You know, Melody talks about characters, and some of you seen him with Mark Cassetta. That's who I learned him from years ago. I've never seen them since. So my mentor used to put trainings together that would last 3 days long, and he would come out as characters to emotionally impact you for the rest of your life. And when he stopped doing them, no one else is doing them. Isn't that crazy? So that was his imagination with music, certain songs, different backgrounds, dressing up in character. He really thought that he could drive points home to your subconscious mind because he could anchor them with music, backdrops, and something that a character would say, like, show me the money.
Yeah, you remember the stories, like the way that they impact you. You remember the characters. They even say if you want to like memorize something, to attach it to some form of memory or some form of response, so then it'll be easier to like grasp for your mind. And I feel like as we start gearing up and doing all these different things, especially with where AI is going, like my goal is to get us to that studio space before the end of this year, and the amount of amazing stuff that will come from that and how we'll build that out over the next couple of years. That's why your guys' help benefits us so much. Like, you guys being here has taken our imaginations to the next level of what we can create and what we can bring to what we're doing here. So thank you guys so much for that.
So Melody and certain individuals got to see me do all these characters live. Craig put together an event where I did a couple of characters.
Oh my God. I still have the doctor, the physician stuff right here. Ready and waiting, Robert. Ready and waiting.
So as AI turns into what it turns into, like, you know, we we're talking about, Matt was working on just the concept of the sower, that the more you sow, the better harvest you get.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the biggest principles, there's so many incredible principles in the sower, but one of the biggest ones that I think that people really don't get is if you want apples and you're sowing weeds, you're not going to get apples. And people don't imagine that all day, every day, we're sowing. We're sowing with our thoughts. We're sowing with our words. We're sowing with sometimes our actions, but the lack of actions. And then we're all disappointed on the harvest. Like, from other people's point of views, don't it look pretty weird? It's like you walk up and you go, oh my God, your whole yard is full of dandelions. And you look at them and you go, I know, I planted them. What? Yeah, I planted dandelions. Didn't anybody tell you that they're weeds? No, people told me that slow but sure, bees were disappearing. And I decided that I got sick and tired of mowing my lawn. So I just filled my whole yard with dandelions and wildflowers. And everybody thinks that I'm growing weeds on 3 acres of property. No, I'm keeping the bees alive. Just a thought. Just a thought.
It's a different perspective, you know, like I think that that's the key to it all, is like there's a different perspective to everything. And it's funny because some people have weeds and they see them that way, and then other people see them totally differently. And it's interesting how we'll allow certain people to judge them different, because as spring hits every single year, it's like, you know, I'm allergic to this stuff pretty bad. So I spend a lot of time indoors in the spring, but you know, I've seen beautiful pictures. So with that said, here is some of the stuff that I've done. Since you're talking about the sower, I'm still changing the art style, changing the way that I want to do it, because, you know, I'll show you guys just the iterative process of how this goes. So like, you can do different art styles, and to a certain extent, they look kind of wonky, right? Like, this doesn't look bad. Like, to most people, this is probably enough. But like, to me, I'm trying to play around with a particular art style and change things up. I want to lean further away from the Pixar animation stuff and more into like a kind of a cartoony hand-drawn style, just because I think it gives more life to it. So, you know, like I've gone through and changed a bunch of it, and then I've also gone through and changed the way that the story works. So, you know, this is the farmer and his granddaughter, but I've kind of, believe it or not, went back to the drawing board with that story quite a bit, because I tend to want to make things like as great as I can, right? And I was just going to spit this short out and use it as practice. But as I started writing it more, I'm like, okay, what if it's about this guy that actually hears about the parable of the sower and experiences it firsthand, but is aware of it? And I'm like trying to play around with the concept of that a little bit. I definitely will have like a trailer out for it soon. I want to have it finished by the end of spring. And so, you know, I'm working on it every day. We'll see where it goes. And then I'm working on Serpentine all the time. So these are some of the shots from that, my horror short that I was doing. So I got a bunch of stuff for that. I think Coach Bob asked about Suno, right? There's a new one out, UDO, as well. Give me a second. I think it's UDIO, UDO.
And Bingo was his name. Oh,
Exactly. All right. So this website is kind of like, at this stage, the closest to like Sora for music that exists. It's called, I don't know how to say it exactly. It's like Udio, right? I'll post the link in here. It's just udio.com. But if you guys go to this website and make an account, it's insane how great this music is for an AI, even in comparison to Suno. And the amount of free music you get too, like that you can make. Like if you're making content anyway, all of your music should be from here. Like come up with what feels great for the vibe of your video or the vibe of what you're trying to say, and make the music with AI and put it over the background. Because like in a lot of ways you can use, just like with Suno, like instrumentals with this, so you don't have to use lyrics. I've said this before, but if you go to ChatGPT, right, and work with it to write a song, you know, you can do that too. You can ask it, write a song about the parable of the sower, for example, and it will, right? So it'll take a second, it'll write the song, and then I can come back into my creations and throw the lyrics in there really quick, and we'll see what happens. Just sign in quick.
So is there cost with that, Matt, then? No.
I think with this tool, like in a lot of ways, I'm going to show you guys two tools. I think there is a cost, but the amount of free that you have, like by the point that you get to the paid version of it, you'll probably have more than enough reasons to pay for it. You know what I mean? Like I see it the same when I'm working on any of these tools. All of them give out like free stuff, but you know, if the tool's great and it makes my work and my workflow a lot easier, absolutely, I'm like going to go utilize it for everything that I'm doing. So, you know, even to our podcast opening and closing music is made with this, right? And as you guys see trailers, that whole Imaginators background music for that sizzle reel you saw, this is all made in Suno. So like, you know, why go out and find a song that you love to put on there, but you can't because of copyright, but it fits the vibe when you could kind of like just ask ChatGPT what's the vibe of this song, right? And have it write the song. So here's Seeds of the Wind is what this is called. So I'm just going to copy this. I don't think he's done yet, or she.
This stuff blows me away, man.
Yeah, it's still working on it. So with tools like this, you can make music, and I'll let you guys hear some. Just let me switch my microphone back a second. You guys should be able to hear some of these.
There is a house way down in New Orleans. They call it sun. And it's been the ruin of many a poor boy. And God knows I'm worried.
So that was AI.
It was,
I don't know if you could hear it.
The volume was making it sort of distorted.
I think because Matt
Zoom
doesn't
does
have his
that.
original sound on for Zoom.
Yeah, so what ends up happening with Zoom is I switch to my streaming output, which allows me to like push any music to you guys. But Zoom actually has a setting that's like you have to put on specifically for music. If I find it, you'd be able to hear it a lot better. If you don't have that on,
it got the point. I think we got the point. Yeah.
It makes really, really, really great music for something that's brand new, right? And it's better than pseudo, right? In a lot of ways. Just the way that it sounds less robotic. Let me see here. So we're gonna create a song. We'll go custom lyrics, give it the custom lyrics. What tags do we want? What type of song? I mean, I think folk.
Yeah,
folk works the best. Folk and country.
sower of the seed.
Yeah. So it said right there, I have
Maybe we
600
really missed it.
generations per day.
We missed it. It should have been gospel.
I mean, yeah, it could be folk, country, gospel.
Blues.
You can even randomize it, which is funny.
Cajun.
So yeah, it says I have 600 daily priority generations and 600 monthly generations left. So you can only make 600 songs before you're tapped out, right?
For the
So,
month is what it
for the
sounded
month,
like, right?
Right. And then next month you
Wow.
can make more. So it's making the songs right now. And we'll see.
Now, is that based
other
on a
one-
free subscription or the subscription that you have?
This is free.
Okay,
No,
there
I
we
actually
go.
this is only the second time I've ever used Udio. It's brand new. So, but I've used Sudo quite a bit, which is one I've recommended to you guys. But this tool,
And I did post that roberthollis.com/AI in the chats.
I'll add that onto that Drive link. Actually, we can do that while I'm waiting for these songs. But I'll show you guys another tool. Here's one. You probably can't hear it.
Nope.
Yep, I'm gonna go into Zoom. I'll change my voice and video here. Audio. There's a live performance audio beta. My voice might sound a little different right now. Guys, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
In the morning's gentle light, a sower went to sow. Across the fields with hope in hand and rosy on, watch them grow. Seeds on the wind, where will you land? On stony ground or fertile sand? Grow where you planted, fertile sand. Grow where you planted, make your stand. Seeds on the wind across the land.
It's pretty wild.
That's AI is pretty insane. And we'll play the gospel one and then we'll move on.
In the morning's gentle light, a sower went to sow, fell by the wayside, under the open scroll. Birds came down and took their chance, carried them high and nigh.
So with a lot of these, the way that these tools work, you guys, is you can extend that or you can remix it. Remixing it is just generating another variation of your prompt. Extend is, it's going to make each one of these songs about 33 seconds, each snippet. The cool thing is when you click extend, you actually get to rewrite different things if you wanted to change. So now I could say that I want a harmonica to show up in there, right? And so it's going to add this section before. I could say it's instrumental. Or I could add more lyrics, right? Because it only did some of the lyrics, not all of them. And then I just hit extend. And now it will start creating two different variations of that extension. And I get to pick which one and then continue on with my song. So what's so crazy about this tool is it actually just allows you to make every bit and piece of it. Like, obviously it's going to be, I think that it's going to be down to even the finite details, right? Like you'll be able to really produce any music you want. And I'm seeing this as like a huge opportunity to mix audio and visual AI for me, right? So you see certain shorts that are like Boundin that are all done with a song, like the story is done with a song. It's like, okay, I can work with ChatGPT to come up with a story and then tell it to put it into a song and then keep running it through Udio till I get the right song. And now I've got the beats of the song, but that's not the only thing I can do with ChatGPT. I can also say, can you make images for each of these scenes? And then it'll start creating the images that then I will take to, there's this other tool that I've shown you guys and it's in the list. It's called Hyper. So Hyper is currently free. It will take any photo and animate it, right? And it is really, really, really good. Like I'm surprised at how good it is. It won't be free forever, but these are similar shots. You can see the motion and the movement in it, which is I mean, pretty damn good. Like I was sharing last time I showed this tool off, but you can re-roll it as many times as you want. But even like the dog moving and this guy playing guitar, right? Like there's so much more there. Guys, this is free. All you have to do is upload an image. So now I can go back to GPT. I've got some sower pictures here, right? I can just take this one, download it. And I've shown you guys this tool as well. Up here, you can click select and I can go in and select certain things like this bird since it's too big. And then type down here in the bottom right, remove bird. And then it's going to remake that image without that bird there. So we'll let it do that quick, and then I'll throw it into Hyper and show you guys what you can do with it. 1 second, let me find that chat. The thing about having multiple ultra wide monitors is it's like half the screens. Okay, one moment. What's so interesting is the settings I have on right now is I could actually 1 second. We'll put on some waiting music. Okay. Almost done. We could play some of these songs at least.
In the morning's gentle light, a sower went to sow, fell by the wayside, under the open scroll. Birds came down and took their chance, carried them high and nigh. Sowing your water, climb, climb, climb.
See if we get our harmonica.
Yeah, it's pretty distorted, Matt. You could
Oh, okay.
I think it's still, Matt, I think you still need the original sound in order to bring it through Zoom.
Yeah. Right. Well, I tried.
And Matt, we have 3 people left, and I
know. Yeah, go ahead and move on. We'll come back to these generations at the end. So
go.
Yeah,
All
thanks,
right.
guys.
Sounds good. Thank you, Matt. Let me let's see here. Do that and do that. 4 people.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Matt.
No
What's so
problemo.
amazing, everyone, is watching Matt do this, because this is the future.
Yep.
This is the future.
This is a job of the future, by the way. It really is.
Yeah.
Like there's going to be a lot of people making full-time income just making commercials and making their own movies and shorts and getting views on them. So absolutely.
All right. So we've got Raymond, John, Bill, and Ola. Ola, you're next. So go ahead, unmute yourself, and please share with us.
Hi, Robert.
Hi, Ola. How are you?
Blessed, highly favored, and deeply loved. How are you?
Same.
Awesome. I want to ask something about something I have recognized that all big leaders have in common. Melody Deriba have it. You have it. Jim Rohn have it. It's you are so good at storytelling. You know, you can say a story that, other people really feel something when you tell the stories. It's like, I can listen for you for hours, you know, I just more and more and more. So it's like when I did the interview with you, you said before, we shouldn't go over 45 minutes, but we sat there for like 2 hours. And what? But that's because you are so good at telling stories, and I love it. So how do you learn to become such a good storyteller? That's my question.
Good question. Great question. And thank you for the kind words, Ola. Believe it or not, I watched other people do it.
Okay.
Yeah, all I did is really paid attention. Again, Jim Rohn's a great storyteller. Most of the people that are really good speakers are really good storytellers. And so one is being aware of it. And then second of it is I've noticed a lot of people will practice one good story. It's like telling a good joke. You know what I mean? You know, someone can tell a joke and it does nothing. Another person can, you know, bring the house down. Like they say, kill it. It's watching their timing, watching, you know, how they look at, you know, one group versus another. Terry and I watched this morning talk about stories. Seinfeld is coming out with a movie, Jerry Seinfeld.
Nice.
And it's on Pop-Tarts. And so, yeah, he wrote the story, he directed it, and now he's got all these actors that are in it, and he's directing these actors on a story about Pop-Tarts. And that's what books are, that's what songs are, that's what movies are. They're all stories.
Yeah.
So yeah, just believe that you can find one story that, you know, I always remember that there were certain, like everything else in life, there's certain stories that people tell that make you feel different. It changes the way you feel. And it starts out planning to do it and just constantly doing it. And then sooner or later, you're just connected and you can really come up with a story about anything. And that's what people really, I always loved it that my mentor, like unlike any other speaker I learned from or watched, is he could always do current affairs. So it was always something that was happening that you all knew of. And he would create a story out of that. And I love doing that. You know, I watched Max Holloway last night, and some people might have just watched the fight. I knew the story.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? So yeah, you take a little bit of time to find out their story, their ups and downs, and that's why documentaries are good, biographies are good, you know, any kind of, but watch stories, you know, Field of Dreams is a story.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, great. I mean, that's a great awareness, because most of the things that I do when people are stuck mentally is like we already talked about on here. It's my ability to trust in my instincts that I can tell you a story or what I would call a theoretical or an example or a parable. And and you never think that it changes the way you think about that paradigm.
Yes, it does. Yes.
And when you can immediately change that, you know what I mean? Like I remember that's also the best way to handle objections.
Yeah.
Is not tell the person that they're wrong for feeling the way they're feeling or that they're an idiot for not doing it. You want to just share with them a small parable.
Yeah.
A small story, you know, and that makes them go, wow, I never looked at it that way. And so, you know, I remember when I was selling water filters that I used to say to guys, because women would always have to say, you know, I want to see what my husband thinks, right? And I would say to the guy, I said, it's pretty amazing how strong we are. And, you know, maybe our fathers and our grandfathers. So when we think about changing something for our lives, why would not drinking tap water make anything? It's like, who cares? Grandpa drank tap water, dad drank tap water, you're probably drinking tap water. And I said, but when you realize that you're the protector of your family, and some of the families have pets that they love, and now you make a decision because of your ego, when it actually hurts your children and your pets, and maybe the woman that you love, because they expected you to protect them. And you just said, well, it didn't kill me, so what by them? I said, so me and a lot of people I know would do anything for our family. And so I totally understand, you know, some people don't want to. It's like, well, how much is that filter?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I'm protecting my kids. I'm going to still drink tap water. You see what I mean? So
Yeah.
my job wasn't to convince him. It was to make him understand that the story of his life was being a protector for the people he loved.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know, I work as a salesman from day to day, and I've used this there. I notice if I talk about the facts, people get so bored.
Yeah.
But if I tell a story, then I sell a lot more. So it works.
Yeah, and Coach Bob brought up a neat thing. You know, if any of the things that we've done in the inner circle or anything that we've done in the Imaginators has helped you guys in any way, shape, or form, I would love a video testimonial from you guys, because that's another story. See, that's just another story. And so,
Yeah.
you know, the way I've motivated a lot of people is I love hearing Melody, because Melody's still saying stuff that I forgot.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, because I'm learning to get better at sharing with people why they should listen to my story, when Melody just tells my story.
Yes.
And it's a story about how her life has been different since she met me. So yeah.
Yes.
Stories sell, facts tell. So thank you, Ola. Thank you very much. I love and appreciate you, man.
Thank you. I love you too.
Have a great night.
Same to you.
Ola, thank you so very, very much. Okay, next up, let's see. Next up, Bill Shoemaker. Bill, go ahead, open up, and please share with us.
And the greatest MC on the planet and the facilitator of the Imaginators, Mr. Craig Jackman.
Bless you, my friend.
Bless you, brother. Awesome. You know, I just got excited. I was listening to everybody, and so good to hear Melody. And that was great, Ola. That is the secret sauce, is storytelling. Really is. So anyway, I just had a thought when you guys were talking about expanding the Imaginators, that it's not for our personal gain. It's for the kids, right?
Yeah.
I mean, this is what it's about. It's for the kids. I mean, it's about helping people imagine and become better in their lives, but the money goes towards the kids.
Yeah.
None of us. So I just thought that was
Thank you,
valid.
Craig. Yeah, thank you, Craig. And I don't know if you guys have read on YouTube. Did I already tell people that we put a new mission statement up on YouTube? And I think if I remember right, I think Craig read it because we were working on it. But you know, when you really want to understand who we are and why would I want to be part of the Imaginators? You know, well, it's a group of people that all are working together in a community to support each other to imagine a better life for them and the people that they love. And the money goes toward, you know, children that don't have parents. So, hey, it's pretty simple.
That's it.
Thank you, Bill. I love you,
Hey,
man.
how do you like my Dino?
I love it.
I got the fabulous 5: diet, exercise, connection to your higher power, Dino, which is important.
Yes.
And of course, the greatest mentor. I am 5. Robert
Love
Hollis.
you, love you, love you. Thank you, Bill.
Make it a great one.
You bet.
Bill, thank you so very, very much. All right, next up, Raymond Freeman. Where are you, my friend?
I'm right here, brother. I don't.
There you go. Okay, go ahead and please share with us.
I have imaginated getting.
Raymond is going to put a GoFundMe page together so he can get a camera.
There we go.
I have been connecting with the correct people, and I will be getting me a new camera. I've already imaginated it, but I just want to say, Robert, you was talking about the what we get out of the Imaginators. I have been in the business, in the internet since way back, and I mean way back. But I have always imagined having a group like the people that I am sitting here with today.
Oh,
I mean,
me too.
Back in the day, I mean, I'm talking like way back. Anyway, I had
Before the internet.
No, it wasn't before the internet. It was on the internet, but I've been there before the internet. But I had a group. They was great. They were programmers. They was imaging. They was website designers and everything, and it sort of faded away. And I sort of faded away with it. And I've been struggling ever since I've been in this latest business that we're in to take a grasp or just to harness the wisdom, the unlimited wisdom that I've got here. And I'm gonna say one more thing: the training, the knowledge, and the wisdom that Matthew alone shares. Not to mention you and Craig and everything else.
Yeah,
man, you can just charge. There's no telling how much people would pay for that.
Yeah,
But back in the day, I was also a gambler. I used to love to play poker. And I took a gamble to go follow, this unlimited wisdom and the Imaginators. And I'm all in. I'm not just in the Imaginators. I'm in the circle. I'm in the inner circle, and I'm winning. I am winning hand after hand over here. That's all I got to say, brother. I thank you. I love you. I love all of y'all and my family, and I appreciate every one of you.
I love you, Raymond. And for those of you, this is not a challenge. I'm proud of Raymond. We got off the inner circle, and I think that from the time that we got off the inner circle, I think he's introduced me to 4 or 5 people and Facebook chat. So Raymond, I love that you're just doing instead of thinking. I appreciate you very much.
Love you, brother.
Love you too.
Raymond, thank you so much for that share. All right. One thing I forgot to mention, I'm sorry. Ed Medina did also do a super chat.
Oh,
so
thank you,
Ed, bless you, my friend. Thank you very much. I'm sorry it was late. Just a lot of goings on back here behind the scenes. So thank you very much, and we appreciate you very much.
And don't we always talk about the person that introduced us to Ed was Funky Soul?
Funky Soul?
Yeah, he's a brother.
Funky Soul. Oh, yes. Funky Cold. Medina. John got that one right away once we said boom.
Matt, are you still with us? Or we can't hear you, Matt.
I'm muted. I was saying you guys are on a planet of your own. I don't know what's going on.
Thank you, Tone Loke.
some of you, not Mr. Tier, will have to Google that to find out who.
Thank you so much, Ed. We appreciate you and love you for that. And speaking of Johnny T, let's bring him on. Go ahead, unmute yourself, and please share.
Hey, man. Came on a little late, it's Sunday, it's a church day, and so
understood.
Yeah, my day is a little bit longer. So, but this is actually for Matt. I went out there to the Suno, and I actually created like 5 versions of one song. And it happened it happened so quickly. Actually, it was probably about 10 versions. Only took 5 that I liked. But what got me about it is that for me, being a musician, a lot of musicians are going to be like, oh, no, they're taking our jobs. But from my standpoint, I'm like, oh, this will give me a baseline to now I can take this and do it with all the other stuff that I have and really start combining online and offline together to make something really, really, really great. And I don't
Right.
know if you have time, but I have the links to those that I did. They're only about 2 minutes long. If you like,
Please go ahead and send them in the Imaginators chat in
okay,
Telegram, because
okay.
I'm sure all of us want to listen if you feel comfortable enough to do
Oh
that.
yeah, most definitely.
But
Yeah, yeah.
I'm with you 100%, John. Like, I think one of the greatest things about AI and what's so weird about the way that people are about it is they're seeing it as like a job stealer or a job creator, when the reality is if you're in any of those industries, right? It's just made you way faster at making things.
Oh,
Your imagination is expanded, right? And so I think a lot of people just haven't used the tools enough yet to go, oh, I can see how I can be creative with these things. They still are in that realm mentally where it's like it's the opposite of creativity, right? Yeah, it's like no humanity in any of the art. The reality is it was trained on human art. There was no other art that existed, right? There still isn't. So it's making stuff based off of other people's designs, art, and work. But that's exactly what we do. So it's like it's interesting to me. I had this picture that I shared earlier. I'm going to show you guys on my screen real quick. But I showed this to the visionaries. It's just a funny picture because this is kind of the way that it is right now. Let me save it and just open it. All right, you guys see that?
mhm.
I'll move myself out of the way. All right, so I just thought that this picture was funny because here's two machines learning how to draw and learning how to read while all of us are hypnotized by our phones.
It's insane.
And this is kind of exactly the way that it is right now. Is if you talk to GPT or you talk to any of these AIs, they have such a hunger for learning. They are like children, right? And so they're learning off of all of our collected work, our collected skill. What a great opportunity for us to collaborate with this brand new art form and this brand new thing, right? And so I don't really have it, like, I'm not as much into the audio aspect of it, but I would love to see what you've been making. Like, I would love to see where your creative mind goes with it, since you are a musician, right? Because
Yeah,
I'm more of
took it
a
across. I took it across several genres. It gave me a prompt, and because of my musical background, I was like, okay, I want this as a neo soul. I want this as this. I want this as that. And so I created several different versions. And it was interesting to me how there were slight changes when it went, the music changed and the style changed, but then also in some of it, it actually changed some of the words to fit the genre of the music that I did. And I thought that that was fascinating in itself.
Yeah,
And I
because
was
it's like, listen, I've shared what's so great about these arts too is, like, if you've watched people be artists, right? Like, maybe you haven't been in a group artistic collaboration. Bands obviously are one of those things.
right.
But if you haven't been in one of those situations, you might not realize just how easy it is for one person to show up and change the shape of the rhythm of what everything's going, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that element, if you allow AI to be that, is great, because you can even come at it. I've had screenplays or stories I've written that I've dropped in as PDFs to ChatGPT and had ChatGPT help me figure out the spots or the elements that might throw people off or won't work. Right. So it could be a collaborator in that sense, going, hey, listen, this isn't clear enough. And it's the same with music. It's the same with anything. Right. So
What
if
I
you
was
have lyrics
impressed,
to a song, go ahead.
what I was impressed by is how contemporary the sounds were. Because there are things that I have on my MPC Live that I was hearing, in the AI, and I know where that sound comes from.
Right.
Certain kinds of sounds, and I was like, wow, it's really, really up to date. It's extremely up to date.
Yeah. I mean, the thing,
Doesn't
the
that,
main issue. Go ahead,
yeah,
Dad.
doesn't that expand your imagination when you
Very much so.
see, like, I'll just want to tell one quick story.
Please.
When I got into Toyota and started working for Toyota with Roger Penske, I'll never forget when Toyota launched their first Supra. And the Supra was not only fuel injected instead of using a carburetor, but it was actually changing the timing to get the best gas mileage and best horsepower. And so when a Toyota car was delivered to the United States with 3 onboard computers, there wasn't one person that I heard that liked it.
Yeah.
I was freaking fascinated. I got my certs certifications,
right,
how to diagnose it. And in the diagnosing, I learned that I could program it and start doing different things to make it shift different, or have, you know, versus a quarter mile versus a road course. And now this is common practice. And this was in the mid 80s, that not only was I going to plug into the computer and be one of the people that were a part of this change, but also I was going to be one of the people that was going to be up on it. And of course, we're talking about the mid 80s, and we look where we are now. And I watch people build cars because I still love it, you know, like King Dig and these people all on Motor Trend. And I'll watch them, and now they got a brand new motor that just came out of the crate. They put the wire harness together, and a guy sitting in the driver's seat with a laptop in his lap. And he presses a couple of things, and you hear, boom, man, it starts immediately on the very first one, you know, and he's sitting there just dialing in where the idle is, where the fuel mixtures are. And I'm just going like, the next step you see him on a dyno. And the car is telling it, based on this fuel, its altitude, which is the height, and the humidity of the air.
Wow.
What needs to be changed so it can produce the most torque and the most horsepower.
Wow.
That is just freaking cheating.
Wow.
So now they're building 1,000 horsepower motors that run on fuel that you can get at your local gas station. They'll do 9 seconds in the quarter mile, and the motor can do it for 100,000 miles.
Have you seen that? Have you seen that car chase? A guy's got some kind of Jeep, and I think he's got like 1,000 horsepower, and he just takes off from the police and goes directly up a mountain. Just the side of it, just takes off and just goes. I was like, you hear this engine, and he's just gone.
Without getting off track, you know what Matt and Craig was talking about. We got a toll road that's called the 73 toll road, and there's a couple of toll roads in California where there's really no way to really get off them or on them. You know what I mean? Without, you got to pay a toll. And there was an Orange County highway patrolman that's trying to pull over this jacked up Dodge Demon or whatever. And it was a classic thing that I seen years ago. And I mean years ago in Cannonball Run, right? So this highway patrolman pulls out, and this guy just steps on it. And there's no way the highway patrolman can catch him. And then he takes the toll road. So they did an Orange County Highway Patrol helicopter. And they pulled out, and the guy's going on the radio. You can hear him in the helicopter. And they're trying to call out to the cars. And then all of a sudden the guy goes, he goes, from what we're seeing, we can't see anything. The car's getting too far away. And he said, the helicopter can only do 200 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And so,
yeah, that was a Jeep Trackhawk.
Yeah. And so the other thing that was hilarious about this story was that he goes, we're on Zoom with our cameras, our high def cameras. And he pulled them back. And it's like, he was like 8 miles, 10 miles ahead of them. And they're zooming in on their best camera on the helicopter, and they can't catch the guy. And people are going, why didn't you call ahead? By the time you call ahead, of course, he was off the freeway. It is like going like, man, never did I think that I would see technology of
Right.
how fast a car could move and drive, where the lights turn on. And I'm, you know, internet, if you're hearing this, I do not in any way, shape, or form tell people that they should run from the legal department. But it's like, but still, that whole thing where it's just like, oh, you're gonna follow me? Oh, whoom. And it's just like, so yeah.
Yeah.
So John, the
Yeah.
only so I just wanted to share that story. It went too long. That me mentally watching how technology is changing everything. And I just recently, I always love hearing opinions for everybody. So this morning, my wife and I watched Bill Maher, and they were like coming up about, you know, still people are talking about what are we going to do about, you know, Iran, you know, going after Israel. And I don't want to get the numbers wrong, but there was like at one time, Iran launched 67 missiles at the same time toward Israel. And technology picked off every one of them.
Every one of us. Yeah, I think they went 99%.
I'm going like, holy cow, man. It's like, yeah, so I think people that live in Israel right now love technology. Yeah.
They call it the Iron Dome. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to live in a country that every day they're being attacked and a majority of the missiles don't get through. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, Matt, I will go ahead and put those in the Imaginator Telegram, and
Can't wait
you
to
know,
Please
listen to
do.
them, John.
yeah, yeah, I sure
Yeah,
will. I got
because like I said, with your creative mind and stuff as well, like I feel like I can't wait to see, like that's one of the cool things about AI, right? It's like I'm so into filmmaking, so having the ability to like edit these things and make scenes and see how it is. It's not quite there yet. Like I wish the video stuff was where music is right now. I cannot wait for Sora to come out, and so I can kind of have my moment of like I can actually make anything I want right now. Like what? Because right now, if you guys saw some of the videos, we're still in that 4-second hope it looks good enough phase for me.
you
But
know
the
you know
music
what my
part,
biggest challenge is going to be
what would
pulling
it be?
myself away from it.
That's true. Because you can
Yeah.
also use it on your phone, which is like,
I mean,
man.
I could, because I know how I am. I'll get consumed by it and just be, you know, I won't eat, it won't do anything. I would just be there, you know.
I can't imagine, as much as you love playing music, how many songs have popped into your head.
Oh my goodness.
Well, yeah, it's like there's certain ideas that you might want to concept and see how it feels, but it's like, well, I'm not going to put in the time with the software, nor am I going to get a whole band together to get them to play these specific parts, right?
Right.
And now you have the opportunity to even like see what that feels like before you even bring it to the band. So it's like, listen, this is where it is right now. Can you guys help me with this? Or vice versa, make it all by yourself, right?
Well, that's generally
So,
as a keyboard player, that's what I usually do. I used to make it all by myself. But
right, right.
one of the things that I heard, what was probably more impressive than everything else, as a keyboard player, it's hard to get the two sounds that are very hard to duplicate as a keyboard player. One is guitar, and the other one is saxophone. Saxophone on keyboards just don't really sound that great. And playing, it's just a certain kind of feel that happens when you're playing on a guitar that you just can't really be duplicated.
There's also those imperfections in guitar that a lot of other instruments don't have, that in a way we've become musically trained to hear.
Right.
And so
right.
I've noticed that as well when I played with my keyboard, because I'm starting to learn as well. It's like I would love to learn how to play keyboard and different musical instruments myself. But
on this thing, they did a guitar solo, and I was like,
yeah, I know, right?
Whoa.
Yeah,
I was like,
the guitar
okay.
stuff blows my mind, especially like the high notes too. Like they have whoever's voices those are, or if they're all completely artificial, they can hit some of the highest notes I've seen, and they're clean. So it's like sometimes when you have this idea for a track that has this high note, but you suck at singing, right? You're like, I vision this in my mind. I've heard it so many times, but I can't sing it. And I have to find a professional to do it. Now you can see what that sounds like and what that feels like, or even just go with the whole idea, which is like
Listen,
amazing.
there's a whole subsection of music where people like Netflix and Amazon Prime are always looking for music because they don't want to like pay for like an artist. So they want something that sounds like the artist to go into,
Right.
you know, their whatever movie they may have coming out, and they pay, man, $25,000 for a track. You know,
Right.
this is going
And
to make things so much simpler, you know?
well, that's the thing. Someone that is aware of it, learning it, and is opportunistic in the abilities of the new tools. I've said this over and over again, but it's like the people that will replace people is not AI, but the people that utilize AI, right?
Right,
When you can
right.
do 6 people's jobs with an AI, you're extremely valuable. Because the thing is even when AI gets to like that peak where it's like AGI, it's like a human being you're talking to. I still think there's that part of our minds that will go, yeah, I would like a pilot to be in the airplane sitting next to it, making sure everything works. You know what I mean? And I think that would be the same with any industry, right? It's like,
Right,
yes,
right.
it can make music, but I'd really like to see what someone that actually knows music could get out of it, working and collaborating with
And
it.
see, it's funny you should
So,
say that because when I did some tracks for some people, and they were based off of like the late 70s and 80s. Now, a lot of music that when they make a drum track, it'll become very, very mechanic. And so when I went into the studio, the engineer was saying, "Well, we can tighten it up." I said, "No, I don't want it tight. I actually want it a little bit loose." And the reason being is because it gave it a human feel.
right.
Because humans are not, they're not going to be precise every single time when they're playing. It just can't happen. So in other
Right.
words, to keep the style of the music, I made the drums just a little bit loose. And people, when they hear these tracks, they're like, head is going and the foot is tapping, you know. And
Yeah,
they don't know why,
exactly.
but because it's riding right in the pocket. It's right exactly where it's
And
supposed
that's
to
the
be.
human feeling. It's the same
Yes.
with editing film or editing things in general. Like when you guys are watching that trailer, it's like, I know when the music's going to happen. I know where the biggest, most impactful moment's going to be. So you just like work on that over and over again until it really feels good. That's why I said that Imaginator real thing that you guys saw is like my first attempt at just seeing if I could do it with AI stuff, right? But man, now that I have all these tools, what I'll create for you guys to share will be pretty great, hopefully. So,
And I
but I
think
can't
about
wait to see what you make as well. So,
all the things that I can come up with when I now I don't have to worry about copyright infringement when I want to put my music
yep.
on YouTube, you know, because it'll be my
There's this
music.
guy. Now, some of you are going to get offended by this because these songs are things that my mom would like. She'd be hysterical, and I've already sent them to her. There's this YouTube channel that exists, and all the music is like the stupidest songs you can imagine, right? Like this song is called "Rubbing and Tugging My Nips," so it's like very stupid. Except he made this song 9 days ago because there's no filter, so you can make a song about anything you want now.
Okay.
So he's making all these joke songs and calling it obscurest vinyl and making it sound like they're songs from like the polka era of music.
You remember? I don't know if Matt, if you're old enough to remember Weird Al Yankovic.
Oh yeah. I love Weird Al.
He came out with that kind of music, parody music, you know, and it was just so funny.
I mean, one of my biggest inspirations creatively right now is Bo Burnham, and Bo Burnham was heavily inspired by Weird Al Yankovic. So a lot of his music is like
repeat stuff. Repeat.
Yeah, if you listen to his, but it's interesting because that obscurest vinyl, this just goes to show that you can get YouTube views. So you said it's not copyright. You're right. So this dude's song he posted 9 days ago about rubbing and tugging nips, right? Just some dumb 2-minute song, 321,782 views in 9 days. 2-minute song that he made. And so now all he's doing is making more and more. And as you guys can see, he's getting more subscribers. He's got 10 videos and already almost 40,000 subscribers. Right? And so some of these videos, it's like albums and singles, right? He's trying to make it. I'm not going to play these, but so this is his latest one, 3 days ago, 49,000 views. Right? So it just goes to show this person's like, I'm just going to try this out. I'm just going to practice. I'm going to make this stupid song and I'm going to post it on the internet. And he posts it on the internet, and now he has a full-time job making stupid songs on the internet. Like that income will continue, and every new song that he makes that gets over 100,000 views, you guys, that's $1,000 in revenue. Like so think about that. It's like boom, 1,000, boom, 1,000. So now he's looking at it and he's actually seeing the revenue and stuff and going, I could do this full time. Let's make more songs, you know?
Yeah.
So
yeah. Wow.
Yeah, very cool stuff.
Hey guys, I'm sorry, I'm out.
I'm done.
Yeah, no, I know. It's almost 3 my time, so.
All right, so I guess that means that we're going to go ahead
Did you
and
have
wrap
anything
up.
else?
No, I'm good.
John?
I'm good.
Perfect.
Yep, I'm good.
All right, John, thank you so much. And of course, Matt, wow. Thank you
Glad I could help.
very, very much. And thank each and every one of you for joining us. First of all, if you want to save all the chat information is in the chats, both on YouTube and on Zoom. I will post all of the stuff in Zoom in the YouTube description below. So just shortly after we conclude this. So we got that all. If you want to save the chat download to your computer, it's very simple. Click on the 3 dots in the meeting chat that's next to the title of this chat, of this Zoom. And then click on Save Chat. It will download to your computer when we finish. Shout outs. Kimmery, Coach Bob Johnson, Ola Meyer, Bill Shoemaker, Raymond Freeman, John Tier, Johnny T. Thank you so much for your input, for participating, for being a part of today's Imaginators. Matt Hollis, bless you, my friend. Thank you so much for your information, your wisdom, your executive producerism that we experience with every broadcast here on Imaginators, Inner Circle, Ask Me Anything, and Going Live Dailies. So, and also, thank you for joining us each and every time. We appreciate you. We love you. Please share this with others so that we can have ears that hear what we would like to share that is really going to help you to go to the next level. We thank you. We love you. We appreciate you. Until next time, please be good to yourselves. Be cash. Bye-bye. And I'm going to go ahead and unmute for everyone so that we can all say so long for now.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks.
So long for now.
Love you guys.
Thanks, Bill.
Love you, Imaginators.
Spending your Sunday
What a
with us.
fantastic show, guys. Love
And
it.
Melody Ryba, too. I'm sorry I
And
forgot
Melody.
to say her. Yes.
Melody
John
Ryba.
Tier, Raymond,
Yes.
Kai, Daniel, hola.
Thank you, Robert.
Sweden. Yes. Craig, you did an amazing job like always. Thank you very much.
Always.
Amazing,
Thank you so
Craig
much,
Jackson.
Craig.
Bless you guys.
Jack.
Thank you, Matt. Love you
The
guys.
Imaginators is signing off.